got hands up. No hands. I have a question.
I have a question. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because thank you. Thank you, Dolly, very much. By the way, I'm from Finland, so but I live here in the States. But you are like neighbor relations. So anyway, I was very touched by the fact that you also have this great love for animals. Because all my life I have been highly sensitive regarding the plight of animals and so on. So I have two questions. I'm very much an advocate for animals. So have the ETs commented anything on what humankind is doing to animals, like factory farming, fur farming, laboratory tests, all that? And then secondly, you know, I love my pets. I'm very maternal to them, and I would not leave without my pets. So what is their position to pets? I mean, are they allowed?
Yes, absolutely. You bring your animals with you if you want to. Absolutely. And they are shocked at the way we treat animals on this planet. They are horrified because they're given hormones and antibiotics. They're treated badly. They live miserable lives. They're butchered in fear, and it's a travesty. It's a huge travesty to them. They would prefer that we don't eat meat on this planet to stop the travesty toward our animals that's occurring. ET does eat meat. Most biological entities do eat meat, but they don't do to their animals what we do. They lead good, healthy lives, and when they're sacrificed, it's done in mercy and in a very humane way. They think we're crazy for doing what we do. They think we're absolutely out of our minds. It's bad for your soul. It's bad for your energy. It's bad for your body. All of it. It's toxic and it's unhealthy.
Exactly. And how they are treated during their lives, you know, at the factory farms. It's just appalling. And that energy transfers then to the food that people eat. So energy of fear, torture, suffering.
Correct. You wear it and it's bad. It's very bad.
I was in California and I was passing some kind of a place, a pen where they slaughter pigs, and it was nighttime and the pigs were all lined up. We were blocks away, a couple blocks away. We couldn't really see it, but you could hear them crying, and it broke my heart. I ended up crying because they knew what was going to happen to them the next day, and they are really smart, especially pigs are very, very smart. And they were all penned up there and they were all crying, and that was horrible. We should.
I feel the most sorry for pigs, highly intelligent, kept in those small crates where they can't even move. That's so atrocious, so atrocious.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So I'm glad ETs are aware of it, and I just always pray for those animals, you know.
Yes.
To have less suffering, and I wish ETs could help them somehow.
They do what they can. You hear about cattle mutilations on this planet, and ET has got a bad rap with that because they're not the ones doing that. We are. And it's horrific, unbelievably bad. And they just, because we're autonomous beings, they can't really interfere with our decisions about doing things. If you're going to be evil, you're going to be evil as far as they're concerned. And all they can do is try to teach not to be, you know. And they do save as many animals as they can, and they have. And I have personal animals. My daughter's in possession of them right now. And when it's time to go, trust me, they go with us. They're ours, and they will not be left behind. Not at all.
Dolly has been taken on board with her pets, and I know of many other cases where that's happened as well. So yeah, they love animals.
Thank you. Do ETs have pets? Have you seen ET pets?
Yes, actually they do. They're like cats, mostly cats. They love cats and birds, and you know, smaller animals, things like that. But every now and then you see a really big dog on board. I used to have a German Shepherd. Her name was Heidi. She was an ex-police dog, and Heidi was always on board with me. She was my girl, and she stayed with me constantly. So yeah. Yeah, we had to train Heidi to paper, and I had a little room on board, and she stayed in my room on my pallet, and she had her own paper tray that she used for bathroom and stuff like that. And they mostly compost toilet. You know, they don't. There's not a lot of running water on board a craft, very small amounts. And so yeah, I was very responsible for taking care of my animal. And so yeah, everybody does.
I read in your book that you were taking on tours of the craft.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you could, you know, tell us a little bit of the features that you saw that you thought were the most interesting places where you went on the ships.
The one that impressed me the most is it's a type of Dyson sphere, and it's outside our galaxy. It's in another galaxy, and way out there, and it is bigger than a planet. It's huge, and it has multiple environments in it. 3 of them look like oceans. One's a saltwater ocean, one's a brackish water ocean, and the other one is a big freshwater lake on this sphere. And it took me, I don't know, I was there for about 2.5, 3 weeks, just learning about this place and looking at all the different things about it. And it was like the biggest vacation I've ever had in my entire life. And I was more than impressed with it.
Wow.
So yeah. So.
Oh boy. Sounds great.
Yes. There are multiple galaxies in our universe, and each one is teeming with life. Our own galaxy is teeming with unbelievable amounts of life that you are totally unaware of and not taught about. And it amazes me that we could have so much information out there that you should know about and you don't. The joy of learning all this stuff is totally cool. And I think that it's a shame to me that we've all missed out on that particular education here. And it's about time we all start learning it, you know?
Are you aware of the Omniversity? Alfred Labermont Weber's Omniversity?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, well, he's a guest that we've had a few times. He's basically the man who coined the phrase exopolitics because he worked for Jimmy Carter, and he was supposed to write the extraterrestrial diplomatic book for Jimmy Carter.
Oh.
And anyway, so Alfred lives here now. He used to live in the States, but he lives in Vancouver, and he's been on the show a few times, and he just started his Omniversity. And he's teaching, he wants teachers that really know stuff. So you might want to contact him.
You want to hear something funny? I'm related to Jimmy Carter. He's my cousin.
Oh my God, he's gonna love you. Let me just look that up, and then maybe I'll post his email.
My mother is second cousins with Jimmy Carter. He's my third cousin. My mother was a Carter Green, and through her mother, her grandmother. So yeah.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I went there, and there's free registration right now, and it just looks wonderful. So
wow.
This is
okay. There's a question in the chat which I'm interested in the answer also. Someone was asking about the cow mutilations, and we've been told that it's ETs doing it. And so are you saying it's the military doing it, our own military?
It's the Black Ops, yes. not ET at all. A lot of people are very confused about the abilities of humans on this planet. We've been working with lasers since before I was born, and we have the ability to make unbelievable cuts in autopsy type of extractions of animal parts for 50, 60 years. And for human beings to be totally confused about that amazes me. These animals are mutilated by Black Ops. Every single report that you can read about it, they've always involved Black Ops helicopters, military being around at the same time. It's really hard for me to understand why you would even think an ET would pull something like that. With that kind of military presence during these mutilations. And yet everybody buys into the lie that it's ET. It's not at all.
They actually, the way that Linda Moulton Howe tells it is that the sheriffs say they see the ETs and then the military comes. So, you know, because they see the ETs and the military, I think there might be some confusion about
I will say that Gabe Valdez, who's probably one of the leading researchers, he traced it back to government, as have many of the major mutilation researchers. So that is something to keep in mind. It's not just Dolly saying this. The people who are actually researching this are saying this as well, that our government at some point is going to have to answer to their involvement in this subject, because we are researching genetics as well.
Yeah.
And we do have what can be mistaken for ET technology. Just because someone thinks they see a UFO does not necessarily mean
that's
that
right.
it's being piloted by ETs, especially because the government is putting forth this ET threat narrative.
That's true. That's really true. Hands up, anybody? I can't see them all for some reason.
Oh, I've got a hand.
You got a hand? Okay.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you said about the karma, Dolly and Preston. Like, I've been teaching Buddhism meditation since 1995. So I think with the aliens, the law of karma is like the master law of the universe. So that kind of explains why we're in this world. It's not a perfect world, and we kind of deserve it. My question is about good and bad aliens. Like, you know, Jeff and Susie Hansen have said they've never seen a reptilian on a craft, and I've had a bad experience. Whereas other people have had problems with negative reptilians. I know some people say there's good reptilians. What do you think of the reptilian question? Are they working through the secret government? Are they, like David Icke and others say, there's a reptilian relationship with this government behind the scenes?
I think that reptilians are from Earth. I think that they were here long before we were. I've only seen one reptilian in my lifetime, and it was unpleasant. It was out in the Everglades. I used to go dig up Indian burial mounds in the Everglades. And I was out for an entire weekend, and I was getting ready to decamp. And the hair went up on the back of my neck. And I looked over my right shoulder, and he was about 20 feet away from me, staring at me. And I am psychic. I can read your mind. And I heard lunch. He was going to eat me. And my ass moved about as fast as I've ever moved in my entire life. I left that mound. I jumped in the water. I grabbed my canoe, didn't even jump in the canoe. I swam me and my canoe as fast out of there as I could. I didn't go back to my campsite for a month. I was terrified to. My contact ETs say that they are definitely from this planet. And Talata has explained to me, stay the hell away from them. So that's all I know. Don't mess with them. Whether they have involvement in our government, I have no clue. I do not know.
I guess that answers my question. Yeah, they don't have to be alien. They could be from this planet. I've read theories like 70 million years ago, the dinosaurs intelligent. But yeah, it seems like maybe some people like Jeff Selver and Susie Hansen kind of good karma, charmed life, right? They're associated with the good grays, and other people have bad luck. So do you think it's like that? Like the negative reptilians associate with some people or get a hold of them, and then there's the good grays?
I think that any intelligent entity has the ability to make good and bad decisions, to have positive and negative thoughts. And I don't know whether it matters who you are. I wouldn't generalize anybody or anything. And quite sure that if there are reptilians and they're karmic and they understand it and they're evolving, they very well may be very good people. Okay. As well as, you know, the other way around. Our planet is swamped with negative intended consciousness. And so it's really hard to say when you're here, who's doing what to who and why. I guard myself from that. I watch everybody and I give everybody a free chance to be okay. And if you're not, I avoid you like the plague. So that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Looks like Angela has a question.
Something that I have been telling people lately that has been something that has come up repeatedly in my experience is that if you ask a question, they don't like answering questions because they think it's lazy. They want you to figure it out on your own because then you can't deny the truth of what you've learned. But if you ask to have something demonstrated so that you can observe it and learn from within the experience, they will absolutely do it.
You're
So
dead right.
Yeah.
You're dead right. Absolutely dead right.
They love that.
Yes, exactly. We have to own what we know. You wear your wisdom, nobody else does but you. And for you to understand what the truth is, you must be able to ferret it out. And that is very wise of you to know this already. Very good. I'm proud of you. That's fantastic.
That's true with OBEs as well. So I have a
Yeah.
lot of those, and I'm always asking questions, and they will give you, like a cone, a riddle. But yeah, you basically have to find it out yourself. They'll meet you halfway, but yeah, this is one of the reasons they don't come down and just solve all our problems. It's up to us to do the work.
Yes.
They respect
absolutely.
our free will. People who have been taken on board and not been fully healed, they've asked about, why didn't you heal all my injuries? They said, well, these are karmic. You chose this. They will not rob you of your karmic lessons, things that you've chosen to go through, because this will teach us something. So they're very careful about how they impart knowledge, because it's up to us to solve our own problems.
Correct.
That's very, very interesting. Have either one of you ever had conversations with them about karma itself?
Yes, I was raised to understand what karma is. I was raised to understand karmic morality and responsibility with karma. One of you is a Buddhist in there. I can't remember his name right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a Buddhist teacher, Brian.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is Buddha was very smart, and it is absolutely true. They do have Buddhist philosophy. They believe in that way. Everything has to be respected, and who you know and who you interact with impacts them, and everything you do has an impact. And so you have to walk through your life carefully remembering that, and being able to atone or work out the karma of those principles and how you act and interact with everybody else. So yeah, they
I
believe
really
in do
appreciate
no
you
harm.
saying they're Buddhists. Like, wow, like Jeff Salvery once said his elder, she's said like a Buddhist, she just sits and bees like a Buddhist. And Jeff Salvery himself is Vedic, so we're very similar spiritually. But you're the first one said they're actually like Buddhists. Or yeah, I wonder about that. I think in the future, the Abrahamic religions in the future, I think Buddhism would fare well with the gray hair and presence of the world more so than the Abrahamic religions. How do you feel about
that? Oh wow. I was raised to understand all religions. I was taught all religions. And basically they taught me, I was raised in them so that I can understand the way people think. Everybody has their belief system, their core, and it has very much to do with how they're expressing their lives. And respecting each of those principles is key and paramount, that you don't disrespect anybody ever, okay? And with that in mind, they will totally allow you, because it is your autonomy, it is your right to believe the way that you believe, and they will be comfortable with you about it, and they will not go against you in any way, shape, or form. The Abrahamic principles are some of the most moral principles there are on this planet. And I think that they do follow some of those principles. I was taught a lot of morality growing up by them. And one of the things that I learned was that when I step in something and do something that's not quite right, I would be met with a wall of silence. And I would know instantly, uh-oh, what did I do now? Okay. And I would be given a chance to atone, understand what I did, atone for it, and fix it myself. Okay. That's how I learned to get past what I just did that was stupid, wrong, or hurtful to someone. And that's a very Abrahamic principle. Okay. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur all follow those principles, and they do follow that somewhat. Yes.
I'm thinking, you know, the one world religion, like you said, our government's aware of this cataclysms to come, and maybe
Yes.
the governments are aware. You know what, like the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, the globalists, they seem to promote the idea of one world religion. Is maybe this is a good thing? Like maybe they know, maybe they want this, maybe they're seeing the future after a cataclysm. Is this what they're getting at? I don't know.
I
I'm just
don't
wondering if you
know.
have any sense.
I don't have any sense of that at all. I try not to delve into that. My issues, my path is very specific, and so I just sort of like lit the world. I try really hard to be consciously aware of sending out as peaceful and loving a message as I can, and hoping that everybody hears it and we all follow together. That's basically my philosophy of it
Yeah, I
all.
understand.
So.
I think Angela had her hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to add that I have received a lot of information about the they that we're talking about. And just real briefly, there is a consciousness machine, so to speak, and there's a group of people, individuals from lots of different places that understand how it works. And a long time ago, basically, they program us because we are the programmers. So the collective consciousness is what runs the machine. So if they can get everyone to think and follow a certain protocol or narrative, that is what the machine will produce. And that is what we experience. So that's why they don't want us to wake up, because they have it set to give them the parameters to reap the wealth of this reality. Correct. Essentially. And that's what we're waking up from. There are millions of souls here now that have never been here before, or maybe not for a long time, but they're here for this exact reason. That is the reason they need to unalive so many people really quickly to get us out of here, because it's working. We're working. And they're running out of time, and we've already won. And it's just a matter of the physical, spiritual, and reality reset will take place. And those of us that came here to assist in that, we're not afraid. We're not afraid of the outcome. The outcome everyone's afraid of is the one they want us to fear, that keeps us in it. Right. So the more people that realize that outcome is a dead end and it's not even going to occur at this point, then we can all move on.
Correct.
So.
Very
And
smart.
there are so many things. Oh my God, I'm just dying to go. You know? But when I was 15, my first on-ship event was a 3-day event with a lot of things that occurred. And then I ended up on ship and I was shown the new Earth, and I was taken there because they wanted my opinion. They wanted to know what I thought about it. And all my life is wondering, well, who am I that they're asking for my opinion on this new Earth? And that has been my entire quest, is find, who am I, you know? And that's so many other things that happened in my life have all come full circle to answering a question. And it's just been an incredible journey. And there is no fear. There should be no fear, because that is the trap, period.
Right. And I want to tell you a secret. When you're awake, you are aware of your relationship to them, and you're one of their precious children. Okay, we are their precious children, and who we are and how our opinion matters to them is that's what love is all about, unconditional love. And so you're one of the many who knows they're loved, and your opinion matters. And of course they're going to ask you, of course they're going to want to know what you think. Of course they're going to allow you to send that message out. You know, it's
Absolutely.
how they exist. It's what they do.
I had my
So-
epic out-of-body experience at 28 when I was consciously aware of the moment when I created that world. And I was thinking, oh, I said that and it happened, and now I'm here seeing the moment that it occurred, and that's already out there, and I saw it back then. There's no time out there, but it all came full circle. They wanted my opinion because I made it.
Right.
And it's a
That's right.
just in case. It's a backup planet, and believe me, we're probably going to need it.
Yeah.
If we don't get these people to wake up.
It's gonna be busy. Yep.
I'm doing a meditation that I was channeled to do, and that is to build a light grid around the planet that will help us with the magnetosphere and to keep the the gamma rays out, and also to keep everything peaceful inside all around the earth. So hopefully that meditation will be done by people, because it was given as a way of bringing light into the core of the planet, and then bringing back out the gold, for one thing, to go through our bodies.
Yeah, we are all light beings, and
To do an exchange with the earth, right? So we're
Right.
bringing her light, and she's giving us these minerals to make us stronger. And then as we meditate, we build this grid.
there you go. That's wonderful.
Trying to do that, have few numbers, but trying to do that. Yeah, I think we've all been given different messages, and one of the things that always comes up is that when you have your first conscious experience, they always ask you if you still give permission, if you're still involved, if you still want to be in the program. Did that happen to you?
To me,
Yes.
I think I agreed when I was about 3. and-
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
my life path, so I'm never not going to be in it.
That's
This
right.
is my thing. So, right. It's one giant adventure for me. It's still ongoing, and I'm having a blast. So, yeah.
Right. That is the thing that is so surprising about your case, Dolly, because they seem to give up on people after they're a certain age. They don't really continue. It's kind of like the study ends, but they're still taking you, and they're still taking you to planets and things. So you must be some kind of an ambassador to them.
Yeah.
Well, you're a pilot.
I do pilot. Yes.
Yeah.
Talata is he's sort of an ambassador. Yes. It is important that when I came forward, that I bring forth the truth of who he really is. I can tell you, I'm debating this right now. I tell you what, the Turkish UFO? You all know what that is, the Turkish UFO?
No, not really. Not myself.
Is that when they saw people, I mean? Like they saw people in the craft?
The one in Turkey?
Yeah, they saw beings.
Over
yeah.
3 months.
I think it's filmed, right?
Yes, it is.
Were
That
there
is,
still beings inside?
yes, that's Talata. That is my craft. And I was on board that craft during that filming.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
So
wow.
that's him.
Wow.
Yeah. If you look at some of my film from Laughlin, you can see the shape of the craft, and he didn't come all the way down because the base was so close to there. He didn't want to risk it, but he was showing off his shape. and everything. And they have actual video close-ups of him with the two beings in the porthole, the window, and you can see me sitting in the seat to the right of him. They don't allow that too much to come out, but I'm in there.
Right.
You can see me if you get a good clean shot of that craft at the time. That is
so
Talata.
wonderful. So
Yeah.
that's my next project. I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah,
I
that's
told you guys, Dolly's case is extensive, but
Yeah.
it's not unique. She knows other people out there who are experiencing what she's experiencing. A lot of the
Correct.
people who are fully conscious do keep quiet for various reasons,
Mhm.
because they do have family, they do have jobs, they do have government surveillance problems. But this is not as uncommon as people might think.
right.
The contactee phenomena is very widespread.
Right.
There's good studies. The Roper poll did a polling and found about 1 in 50 people. J. Allen Hynek said it was closer to 1 in 40. I asked Dolly
Right.
about this. She says those numbers are probably pretty close to accurate. But she and other contactees have told me that really it's everybody.
Right.
They are watching every person, and everyone is a contactee to some level. And even if you don't remember, oh, look at, there's the Angela showing the turkey footage.
There it is.
That's
That's
the
him.
one. But yeah, all
That's
of us
Talata.
are contactees from some level.
One question that I have, unless there's other hands. Hands? No hands. Okay, one question that I have, Angela, Dolly, is that, all the stuff that's going on health-wise right now, some people say that it's really weakening
Yeah.
immune systems and that this
Yeah.
is done on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, what should we do about it? Like, which way to go with this?
Try to detox yourself and make sure you drink decent water. Stay away from plastic. Stay away from meat full of hormones and stuff like that. It's very bad for you. Grow your own vegetables, just detox your body. Wear sunblock, that does help. Stay indoors during certain times of the day that it's more active sun-wise. Pay attention to what's going on with the sun. If we're having CMEs, don't go out and stand under them, avoid them. Stay in the building, block it as much as you can. Make sure that you do vitamin D, B12, stuff like that. Just make sure that you pump yourself full of very wholesome, healthy things. Quit using toothpaste with fluoride in it. It is deadly to your pineal gland. It will gum you up. Stop it. No fluoride. Leave it alone. Just things like that. Meditate every day. When you meditate, you change the light in your body. You allow your DNA to repair itself. Your own best physician when it comes to healing. Work at that every day, and you will be surprised at how much better you feel and how you flourish.
Thank you. These are things we should all know anyway, right?
Yes.
These are things we have known all the time, but just don't do
Yes.
them.
Right. Water is one of the most important things that you can do for your body. You're mostly
Yes.
water. It is water remembers your vibration. Water is the vibration of your body, of your DNA. And so if you put negative water in your body, you're going to have negative problems. So make sure that you, strangely enough, talk to your water, tell it good things, let it sit on the counter for a day and, breathe good, fresh happiness into it, think to it, talk to it before you drink it down. Living water is very important in your body, when you bathe and stuff like that. Don't use a lot of chlorine, make sure that you filter whatever household water that you have that hits your body, that kind of thing. Enjoy it. Water is the beginning of all life, and it's important that you use water properly in your lifetime.
I was told one of my warnings that I was told was water, that we should really, really, really be careful with water on this planet, and that was one of the problems that happened on Mars. And, you know, if we're going the same way, that we really need to take care of our water. That was one of the #1 issues that they gave me.
Yeah, there's good science to back this up. There's a Dr. Emoto. He wrote books about water and how it's affected by consciousness. But yeah, it looks like Mark has a question.
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you both for the presentation. It was fantastic. Lots of great info. I'm here in Arizona, and I have a few friends that we do a CE5 group, and we do meditation. And is that okay? And then are they responsive to that? And do they like that?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
They go crazy for it.
Fantastic.
Are you kidding? Yeah, contact them.
Okay.
They will answer you. They will show
Oh,
up.
fantastic.
You know.
Is there any advice you could give me or to our group as far as any meditation or any advice in general while we're doing that?
Set the intention with your group. In other words, before you begin your CE5, I'll sit and talk about what your expectations are, your intentions,
Okay.
what you hope to accomplish during that CE5, and talk about what your questions would be for them, and direct your thoughts to the most important 2 or 3 questions for them, or things that you want answered. And then everybody keep a notebook on hand, because you will receive messages from them, and
Okay.
write down your impressions, and then sit down together afterwards and compare notes, and you will see things open up to you guys, and you'll actually see answers coming through, all of you, from them. And it's a very good way to confirm what you're doing there and what they're doing with you. And promise me no laser pointers, okay?
Okay. No laser.
No
pointer.
laser pointers. Yeah. I've gone over CE5s, and I've been blinded by those things. Please don't use them. Okay.
Okay.
Wow,
All right.
interesting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So go ahead, Lisa.
Thanks. Yeah, I just had another question for Dolly. Did the ETs talk about our planet and the huge issue regarding it being overpopulated and also overconsumption in some areas of the world, but more so the overpopulation issue we have, because that can really cause a lot of the secondary impacts in terms of water shortages, depleting our soils, overuse of energy, overuse of resources, that kind of thing. I would be really interested in knowing if the ETs have something to say about why we're overpopulated, what we can do about it, that kind of thing.
Yes, they know we are overpopulated. They know why. Humanity's sort of been guided to have that happen. We're all workers here, and we've been used, and so population control has not really been done well. In our history, population control has generally been accomplished by very negative human beings, where let's just give you for instance, Mao killed 80 million people. Stalin killed 45 or 50 million people. Hitler killed 30 some odd million people to control the population. Wars have always been used. It's very negative. It is unbelievably horrific, and ETs understand that this is occurring here. Yes, we have depleted our soil. Yes, we have overused, overextended, and polluted everything. With everything that's going on right now, it's not a whole lot that anybody can really accomplish or do about it at this point, especially with what's coming at us. So they are just more interested in now in getting everybody to just wake up and understand what's actually going on. That's their desire to see us break away from the very negative, very evil influences that are all over us right now. So.
Yeah, thanks. That makes a lot of sense. And I think too, like, you know, with social conditioning and maybe over the years, you know, I don't know, I've found that, you know, it's important to have families. If you don't have children, then, you know, you're not fitting into the mold of society. And, you know, developing countries, they have a lot of children. And I think that, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I think it makes a lot of sense. It's I think we're being misled in a lot of different directions. So thanks.
Yes, you're welcome.
I actually asked about the cow situation because
sorry.
that one threw me a little bit. So that was my question from before. It's just a lot of information, and I'm sure I have tons of questions. It's a little bit scary from my perspective because I have never been contacted by anyone. And so just hearing a lot of the things that you're talking about that are going to happen to me are a bit scary.
Just remember that you are in control of your own life, okay? And you have nothing to fear except for what you fear in your own mind. Nothing is physically going to touch you that is going to harm you, physically harm you. We do live in a world where the physical reality of our existence here can be dangerous from time to time. And just remember that you are still an autonomous being. You're still in control of your own happiness and your own well-being. And always remember to pay attention to that, you know, to breathe, meditate, find your joy, find true knowledge in your own heart, in your own mind, in your own soul, okay?
Have they told you anything about your crane or what's going on there? Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the world feels helpless to help them. And
that is a situation that is going to happen. It is happening, and there's, unless everybody agrees to make it stop, it is not going to stop. And basically what everybody needs to remember to do is that we can send helpful, healing thoughts for these people, and that we can openly talk about the need for it to stop, for us to all love one another no matter what. Love is the way. And if you want it to stop, if you want to be helpful in this situation, that's what you've got to do. Always, always make sure that every time you talk about it at all, remember to do it in love and ask for everyone to tell it to stop. It's the only chance they have, basically. So pray for them. Openly discuss the fact that it needs to stop. We need to start loving one another. It's got to, we all have to agree that this is outrageous and it must stop. And that the only way for us to exist on this planet is in peace. That's it.
so when you spoke on something's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years, are we not even supposed to worry about climate change because it's not going to be an issue?
Correct. There is no such thing as climate change. Our inner core of our planet is heated up. Our mantle is breaking loose from what's occurring. And we've already melted the poles. All the freshwater melt is now in the Atlantic. And you're going to start seeing it get really cold from here on out because it changed the engine of the planet. And it is going to get colder every year from here on out. Climate change is a lie. It is their lie to force you to do what they want you to do. Don't believe a word of it. And you will see it get colder, period.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I've just put my meditation there for you. So if you want to join the groups that are forming to do the meditation, that's the link from YouTube, and just have a look at it and see if it, you know, see if it resonates with you. because a few of us are doing it now. And that is to protect the planet and also to stop war.
Okay.
Angela has a question.
Okay.
I do, just real quick. For experiencers, particularly your story is very similar to mine. Do you feel at any point in your experience that it was confirmed to you that you as an intelligence was sent here?
Yes.
That you're
I
not a
cho-
random human soul having a random human experience?
I absolutely chose to be here. I actually remember at some point in my experience, I did a lot of work with past life recall when I was a young woman in my 30s. And they worked with me with it because I've remembered past lives my whole life. And they were trying to help me to see how I actually got here. And I am not from here as of late. I chose to be here. And this is the work that I chose to be doing. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Preston is also someone who chose to be here at this time. And his life path is very specific as well. So,
Yeah, I knew from age 9 I was going to be doing something along these lines. And Dolly's not the only contactee who was actually referred to me by the ETs.
Right.
That's happened on a number of occasions, most recently with a guy in England who called me up and had been visited by Greys who gave him warnings about nuclear proliferation and upcoming disasters. He really wanted to know if I'd heard anything like that. I told him, of course, yes. That's pretty much the primary message. And we talked for some time. And I counseled him. That's my primary mission. I talked to a lot of people just because they need someone to talk to. And after the end of the conversation, he said, yeah, well, the Greys visited me this morning and they said, you need to talk to a gentleman by the name of, and gave them my name, which was like, wow, yeah, the Greys know about me. I'm definitely, that is a mission I'm on. They will prompt me to write a book. I can kind of feel it telepathically. And when I finally put one out, I will have a little UFO sighting, a little, hi, how are you doing? And I'm working my way towards I did have a missing time experience in 1992. And I'm starting to remember more and more and having UFO quote dreams. So yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff.
I had a really extensive healing experience, and I wondered why they don't just pick up random people and heal them. I'm sure that happens, but in my case, it was my team because they need to keep me functioning. They need to keep me in action. And so that was absolutely done because I belong to them.
correct.
Yeah, I look at who's
Yeah.
having contact and why, because it's evenly divided between men and women. It's all over the world. It has all different ancestries, age, religion, political affiliation. What I found is people who are being tracked in their families genetically, people who have very strong psychic abilities. They're very interested in that. But primarily it's what you're doing on this planet. They are contacting doctors and nurses and teachers and artists and musicians and social workers and environmentalists and animal rights activists and inventors and police officers, people who are doing good work for humanity. They work very hard to support their work with humans.
Yeah. One of the things that I could tell you is that I've been looking for others who are like me. And Preston knows this. I am on a constant aware lookout. And I'm pretty sure that you're one of the people that I need to know. So we're going to have to talk afterwards. I'd love to have a long conversation with you. It's important to me. So just so you know. We're going to leave Angela my personal information. And okay. So, yes.
Well, Angela's going to be on the show doing her own show in May.
You guys, someone had mentioned that there weren't, and that you said that there weren't a lot of ships here now because of the gamma radiation, but all of my life I've not seen ships except once one early on, but the last 2 years, there have been so many. And the biggest one I've ever seen of my life was just a month or so ago. And we did have a little blue light being in the yard last week. And I tried to go outside 4 times to investigate, and 4 times I got put back in my bed. And I checked the clock the first time, and I checked the clock the last time, and only 3 minutes had passed. But the third time they put me back in the bed, they tucked me in so tight I couldn't move. So they do have a sense of humor.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have a very weird sense of humor. Yes, I have a slightly skewed sense of humor because of that. Preston could tell you I find really weird things funny as hell. So yeah.
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that, Angela, because I have 3 or 4 cases where they tuck people in their bed so tightly that they can't move. That's hilarious that you mentioned that, because other people have told me that. They thought it was really funny too.
Yeah.
It happened one other time, but I had a pillow on my chest and my arm was on top of the pillow, and it's impossible for me to have gotten into that position as tightly as I was mummified in that bed. So I knew instantly to get up if and when I could and go look at my arm, because that was the message was, this is important. And sure enough, I had a symbol stamped on my arm.
Wow.
That's
And then
interesting as heck.
Yeah.
What was the symbol?
The only thing on the planet I was able to remotely match it to is the new stamp by the Alaskan First Nations person, the artist that did the crow stamp, the light in the box story. If you
Okay.
look at that stamp, it almost identically matches the stamp that was on my arm. It took me several months to find it and to decipher the message. But the biggest thing that I learned from that was that if you don't give up and you keep searching, they'll keep working with you. If I had
Correct.
just ignored it, then the last 2 years probably wouldn't have happened. But I did. I just kept digging and digging, and there was literally one thing that even came close, and it's that picture of that crow, and it absolutely matches everything that I knew about it in the event itself. As I was discovering the message, it definitely was the message. So
Cool. Yeah. Some of the craft that you're seeing in the sky is projected craft. They're not actually physically here. They're interdimensionally diming in and out. That's why you weren't physically allowed to get near it, because you couldn't have if you tried. They are physically incapable of being here right now. So they can do the interdimensional jump and let you see them, and then they'll jump back. If they stay here for too long, they can come physically down, and they will not attempt to allow that. Now, there are alt government craft in the skies, and you can see them from time to time too, and I would be wary of it. Question everything you see in the sky, honestly. So.
It's interesting you say that. If it was, because I kind of figured this last one, the really big one, was a holographic experience, because I was literally questioning myself, when did they put that building there? Because there isn't a building there. And it was lit up, it had windows, it was completely black all the way to the ground. It had to be 4 stories high. It was huge. And it was blacking out an entire neighborhood. And it was in the sky next to and above a church, which is a huge building. So there's nothing in the air next to that building except this building that didn't exist. And that's what I was seeing. Yeah.
Yeah. The all government can do it as well too. They have 70 holographics now. And so it's just question everything you see in the sky. If you get a definite message from them, if they're actually speaking directly to you, you'll know it. And that would be your confirmation, and they'll always give you a pathway to trust what you just heard from them. They'll give you confirmation of some sort. So everything else, I would definitely question what's going on around you right now. So.
Yeah, my communications are sort of telepathic now, and they have a certain vibration to them when they come, and I know that it's not my thoughts. I know that it's stuff coming in, so it's interesting, because I used to do a lot of traveling with them, and now that has stopped.
Right. So
Dolly, did you see the link for the meditation?
Yes,
would
I did.
love it- I would love it if you tried it out and let me
Okay.
know what you think,
right.
because I was given this meditation. I was given the grid in 1987 during the
Okay.
harmonic convergence,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how to get this out to the world in 1987. We didn't have internet, we didn't have Zoom,
This is
you know.
true.
So now we
Yeah.
have it, and now they gave me
Yeah.
the meditation on how to
Right.
do it, how to build it, the
I know
triangulation.
I actually know which one you're talking about. And I do participate in that particular meditation every
Oh,
weekend.
do you?
So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Is it
So,
this
yeah.
one? Let me just get my picture out and tell me if it's this one, because then I want to talk to you some more.
Yes, it is.
Okay, please contact me.
Okay.
Preston has my email. I would
All right.
love to talk to you about that, please.
Okay.
It's
Thank
very
you, and I
important.
will. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Ciao. Thank you so much.
Bye. That's a linger.
I love you guys. I love this presentation. I hope everybody buys this wonderful book. I know that I'm having a lot of fun reading it. It's great. And it's a great story, very inspiring.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to present. I do need to eat lunch here at some point.
Well, I can't feed you virtually. So anyway, I just love that everyone was here, and
Thank you.
namaste.
Yes. Thank
And
you
please
very
come
much for
back.
allowing me to come. Yes. And I will see you all again someday. You'll see me again.
Yes. Yes,
So.
nice to meet you, Dolly.
Nice to meet you also.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.